Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Big Manchester United transfer news for you this morning, coming in late last night from Ben Jacobs. Also Fabrizio Romano, involving Mateus Fernandes and Alex Scott. Some big updates here. So effectively, if we start off with Fernandes, what Ben Jacobs is saying is that West Ham midfielder Matheus Fernandez has indicated he is open to joining Manchester United. And I think with regards to what's been happening over the last 24 hours, we've obviously held talks with the agent, Jorge Mendes. We are in talks with West Ham, and personal team terms aren't a problem, but also the player wants to come to Manchester United. So I think it's moving very, very quickly. There is something about Real Madrid. I will talk about that in a moment. And look, I saw something on social media last night where someone was saying we should be grateful that Real Madrid are involved in this deal because it's speeding things up. Yes and no. I think that if Real Madrid weren't in for him, maybe PSG would be in for him. Maybe other clubs are in for him anyway. I think with a player like this, you're going to have to move quickly. I don't think it was ever going to be a case of just chasing one player. And ultimately, that is, in one way, if it was just us, we'd probably get it done cheaper, and it would get done in the next month. In this case, it's still a very high fee. There is a lot of competition, and we're not necessarily definitely over the line yet. But I think the last 24 hours couldn't have gone much better, really, in the sense that, we're happy for it to be publicly out there that we want him. We've held talks with West Ham, we've held talks with Jorge Mendes, and the player is open to coming to Manchester United and has indicated that. So I think that there's two ways of reading that as well. One
will be about reassessing the situation and then try and understand what's going to happen with the new midfielder. But for sure, it's a position they still want to cover. Then, talking about midfielders, guys, I wanted to mention today also the situation of Alex Scott, the midfielder from Bournemouth, one of the most interesting midfielders in Premier League, English player, of course, and so also a plus, especially for the English top clubs, when they have the possibility to go ahead with this kind of players. Obviously, is important for English clubs to have English players in their squad. This is why Arsenal made a call. Arsenal had a bid rejected a few days ago for Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal also made a call for Alex Scott. A conversation with Bournemouth took place. The message sent by Bournemouth is, we don't need money. We already sold many players over the last 12 months. So we want to continue with Alex Scott, and they are offering Alex Scott a new contract with the possibility to include a release clause for a future exit. So at the moment it's difficult to get Alex Scott. Then, still 2 months ahead, so we have to understand what's going to happen in terms of conversations if some club, including Arsenal, want to try again. But at the moment, the situation with Alex Scott is Bournemouth want to keep him. Bournemouth received a call from Arsenal, but at the moment are not advancing. Then we have to mention something, guys, also about Real Madrid. First point about Real Madrid, what I told you, I think 10 days ago, about Nico Schlotterbeck. Right after his injury, we can remove his name from Real Madrid shortlist. Not because they don't like the player, but I told you the day of the injury. Unfortunately...
Well, some pictures just reaching us from Sky in Italy. That is Sandro Tonali. He's at Milan Airport as he gets set to jet to London ahead of his club record £100 million move to Tottenham from Newcastle United. Spurs will pay £92.5 million plus £7.5 million in add-ons for the Italian midfielder, who's expected to earn more than £275,000 per week. There was interest elsewhere from Manchester City as well, but we are told he was keen to work under Roberto De Zerbi. It's been a busy morning for Tottenham fans. They've already announced the £85 million deal for Matheus Fernandez.
Manchester United fans, welcome back. We have another huge transfer update coming out of Old Trafford, and this is one you won't want to miss. The summer transfer window is heating up, and reports suggest Manchester United are continuing to work behind the scenes to strengthen the squad ahead of the new season. Today's biggest talking point involves Aurelien Tchouameni and Alex Scott. According to the latest transfer reports, United are exploring major additions as the club looks to build a team capable of challenging for the Premier League title and returning to the top of European football. In today's video, we'll discuss the latest reports, what Fabrizio Romano has said, why these players have been linked with Manchester United, and how they could fit into the team's plans. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoy Manchester United transfer updates, and let us know your opinions in the comments. Now, Let's get into today's news. Manchester United know that this summer is one of the most important in recent years. Supporters expect the club to improve after an inconsistent campaign, and the recruitment team has a huge responsibility. Every position is being evaluated. The midfield remains one of the biggest priorities because controlling games has become essential in modern football. The best teams dominate possession, recover the ball quickly, and create chances through intelligent movement. That is why Aurélien Tchouaméni continues to be linked with Manchester United. Tchouaméni has established himself as one of Europe's most respected midfielders. His physical presence, tactical awareness, passing ability, and defensive intelligence make him the type of player many clubs admire. If Manchester United were able to complete a move for a midfielder with those qualities, it would represent a significant boost to the squad. His ability to shield the defense, break up attacks, and start forward moves would provide greater balance across the team. Many supporters believe United have lacked consistency in midfield during difficult matches. Adding another top-quality midfielder could help solve that problem and allow attacking players more freedom. But that's only part of today's story. Another name receiving attention is Alex Scott. Alex Scott is widely regarded as one of England's brightest young midfield talents. His energy, creativity, technical quality, and confidence on the ball have earned praise from football fans and pundits alike. Manchester United have always valued young players with high potential, and Scott appears to fit that profile perfectly. Bringing in a young player who can develop alongside experienced teammates would match the club's long-term strategy. Competition for places is also important. Successful clubs don't rely on just 11 players. They build squads where every position has quality competition. That pushes standards higher in training and gives the manager more tactical options throughout the season. If United were to add both experience and youth during this transfer window, it could create the perfect balance for the years ahead. Of course, the transfer market is never straightforward. Negotiations can take time, transfer fees have to be agreed, personal terms need to be discussed, medical examinations must be completed, and paperwork has to be finalized before any signing becomes official. That is why supporters should always wait for official confirmation from the club before treating any transfer as complete. Nevertheless, the links continue to generate excitement because both players could strengthen Manchester United in different ways. One brings proven quality at the highest level, the other represents enormous potential for the future.